Saving your first 100,000 can seem impossible, especially if you are living paycheck to paycheck or you are earning what most people would call an average income. But you know what? It's more about having the right strategy and having a plan than it is about you earning a massive salary. So in this video, I want us to look at how can you actually save your first 100,000 even if you earn what most people would call an average salary. And we are going to look at the math and the steps that you need to take to get there. Welcome back to our better version. If you are new here, my name is Les, and on this channel I talk about personal finances and wholesome living to help you build a life that you love and achieve financial freedom. So this is part 3 of our October money series, where we have a theme from struggling with money to thriving with our money. So we are on video 3. If you have missed the last episode where I spoke about the bank account that you actually need in your wealth building system, then you want to watch it next because it links directly to this video. Now let's talk about hitting that magic 100,000. The first step towards you saving your first 100,000 is to know why 100,000 in savings matters. Because let's face it, saving your first 100,000 is hard. It's not easy. However, it's the most important, because once you have that 100,000, you will be able to invest it and your money can finally start working for you. So that $100,000 mark, it's like a tipping point in your finances where your money actually starts earning significant interest or earning significant growth. So you want to have that 100,000 so that you can move over to the side where you are not just protecting your money with savings, but you are also moving towards actually seeing growth in your money through investing. So once you know why you want the 100,000 or why the 100,000 mark is important, then you need to break down your goal in smaller pieces. 100,000 is a huge amount and it looks huge, but once you break it down into smaller goals, then it becomes much more realistic and much more attainable for you. If you only choose to put away 1,400 a month towards your 100K goal, you are going to get there in 5 years' time. And if you double that and put away 2,800 per month, then you are going to reach your 100K goal in only 3 years. So you have reduced your time frame by 2 years. But if you are somebody who is very aggressive towards your goal and you put away 8,333, then you will get to that 100K goal within just 1 year. So achieving 100,000 in savings is possible, and it's possible to everybody at different amounts that they are putting aside every single month. So the goal is the same, but depending on how much you are putting away, that will determine how long it will take you to get there. But you will get there. Even if you are in the category that is putting aside just 1,400, you will get there. It will just take you much longer compared to the person who is putting aside 2,800 a month and the person who is putting aside $8,333 a month, who will then get there within a year. You might be saying, how is it possible that someone is able to save more than 8,000 a month towards their goal? It is possible, and it's possible because of a lot of reasons. Number one, there are people who are actually high income earners. If you have a good salary and after you have taken care of your essentials, you are able to have still disposable income that can allow you to put away 8,000 a month, then you put away 8,000 a month towards your goals. So high income earners are able to do it. But also, you might not be a high income earner, but because maybe you are still living at home and your expenses are quite low, or you are staying at a back room which is very, very affordable, you are not renting those expensive flats or expensive house, you can also be able to put aside enough money to reach your goal within a year. Or maybe you are somebody who has a side hustle. If a person has a side hustle and they are putting most, if not all of their profit towards their goal of saving 100,000, they will be able to put that money and they will be able to save up enough to reach there within a year. And sometimes it can also be that somebody has overtime at work. There are people who work overtime at work, and maybe they are putting all that overtime money or most of that overtime money towards their goal of saving up 100,000. It's doable within a year. Another thing is that if you have a job that has nice travel perks, like a nice DSA when you travel with work, and maybe your work travels a lot, you are also able to save some of the money from your DSA. If you don't use it all up for accommodation and meals and all these things, then you can use some of that money to save it towards your 100,000 goal. And that way, you can actually get there much faster. So when you travel with work, especially for our government employees in Namibia who recently got an increase in the DSA, if you have something left, don't go shopping. Don't give it away to family members. Use a portion of that also to put aside towards your saving goals. So those are some of the ways that one can actually reach their 100,000 goal much faster, and they are able to do it within a year or within 2 years because of the income that is coming from different sources, or their expenses are quite low. Some people are still living at home. Some people are still getting a lift from their parents to go to work, or you are getting a lift from an older brother or an older sibling. Then you are able to save some of your money and your living costs are quite low, and you are able to reach the $100,000 goal or rent goal in a shorter period of time. So what basically this is showing you is that you need to have a target. When do you want to reach your goal? And then assign an amount towards that. Or you work it the other way around. How much am I able to put away each single month towards my goal? And once you run those numbers, you'll be able to see how long it will actually take you to get there. But what is important is to have the goal and take action every single month. You are putting an amount of money away. It doesn't matter whether it's a 10,000, it's an 8,000, it's a 3,000, it's a 500. Just put away that amount of money every single month. Then you will eventually reach your goal. And once you have now broken down your goal in smaller pieces or in monthly amounts that you'll be contributing, then you can now use the 5 account system. Remember the 5 account system we spoke about in the previous video, whereby you have your everyday account where you are paying your bills and other small expenses, and you are transactioning or you are sending money to the different accounts that you have. So use that, and use your emergency fund so that it can take care of any surprises that comes your way. Use your sinking fund for your short-term savings and your annual costs, and then use your wealth or investment account for you to invest your 100K, and then your opportunity fund, you use it to seize opportunities beyond your 100K. So those are the key accounts that you need to have in your money system so that your money system is running like a machine, helping you to build wealth. And the key here, or the trick here, is automation. Automate from your everyday account. Automate your savings towards your 100K goal, your savings towards your other goals, short-term goals, your savings towards your annual costs, and all of these things. And within your investment account, you can also now automate again to say, okay, when the money comes here, then it must buy this asset and that asset and that asset. So you need all these 5 accounts so that they are all functioning like a well-oiled machine to really help you to create wealth. And talking about automation, the money towards your 100K savings goal, it must leave your transactional or your everyday account the day your income lands in. If you get paid on the 25th, then that money should leave your account on the 25th. If you get paid on the 7th, same story. So regardless of when you get paid, that same day, the money that is going towards your money goal of 100K, it must leave your transactional account so that you don't end up using it up or forgetting it, or the money getting lost within your budget because now you have used it for other things. The next thing that you want to do is to become very clear when it comes to your money priorities. Show me your bank statement and I will show you where your priorities are. Where does your money go? Your bank statement will be able to tell you that. So look at your bank statement and really review, where is my money going? And ask yourself, is it going to the things that I value or not? Is it going to the things that are important to me or not? Because sometimes we don't have an income problem. We really just have a money management problem where we just let money go to things that we are not conscious about where the money is going. So become very clear. What are your priorities when it comes to your money? And cut on the things that are not priorities for you. Cut on the things that you don't value. Cut on the things that you don't need. And then redirect those funds towards the things that are actually important to you. And that includes your 100K savings goal. You want to cut from the other stuff so that you channel that money towards your goal and you are able to reach your goal much faster. Now, when we talk of cutting things, you can look at how much money are you spending on takeaways? How much money are you spending on eating out? How much money are you spending on entertaining friends or family or whoever? How much money are you spending on subscriptions? How much money are you spending on buying lunch at work? And really look at, are these things really a priority? Should you really be spending 500 a week on takeouts, for instance? Or can you cut that to a 200 and then the 300 you can channel it towards your 100K goal? So have a look at that and really prioritize so that your money is going to the things that are building you and things that you really value, not to the other things that are not important to you. And we are not saying you must live like it's 1955. No, we are just saying what is meaningful to you is where you put most of your money. And the things that are not meaningful to you, you either completely eliminate or you really reduce a lot on those things so that the money is really going to the things that are meaningful to you and to the things that you value. For instance, in my budget, I do not have an allocation for alcohol. I do not prioritize alcohol, but I do prioritize buying fresh ingredients for me to prepare myself healthy meals. So I don't have money going to takeaways and takeouts. I don't have money going to alcohol, but my money is going towards fresh ingredients that I can prepare healthy meals for myself. For instance, with ladies, you can decide what are the things that are a priority to you. Is it for me to rather get a good massage instead of me going to the salon every weekend to get my hair done? Then you do your hair at home, and the money that you could spend on doing your hair, you could actually channel some of that money to have a good massage and to relax. So prioritize and become very, very clear. And you'll be able to free up so much money that you can then channel towards your savings and your investments goals. Once your priorities are clear, then you can accelerate your savings goal through additional income or through extra income. After you have cut or redirected some of your funds in step 4, then you can now look at how do I earn more? How do I make more money so that I can do even more when it comes to my savings? And like I always say, you can only save and invest as much as you earn. So if the earnings are too low or the earnings are not enough to cover everything that you need to cover, then you need to find other ways or different ways of you to earn. So sell something, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, whether it's you listing goods that you or items that you already have. Some of the ladies, for instance, have closets full of high heels that they have not even worn in the past 3 or 4 years. List those things out. Some people, when they have events, they can come and, you say, I give you this for 200, you bring it back the following morning, and if something happens to the shoe, then you have a fee that they are supposed to pay. So do something to earn extra income. And just imagine being able to save money from your job or from your salary, and also saving money from your side income that you are doing or side business that you are doing. That combined can be a significant amount of money that can get you faster towards your goal of 100,000 or even beyond the 100,000. And if you want ideas on businesses that you can still start in 2025 that are not yet crowded, you can look at my video that I'll link up here, where I have spoken about businesses that you can still consider in 2025 that are really not that crowded, and there's still opportunity for you to grow and make a lot of money with these types of businesses. Then once you have built up your extra income sources, you can now protect what you have built so far. You can protect your progress. I don't want you to save 50,000 and then you wipe it out tomorrow because you had a car breakdown, or maybe because you traveled for December holidays, or maybe because you spent 2 nights in hospital. So you want to protect the progress that you have made when it comes to your savings goal of 100,000. Firstly, have an emergency fund. Your emergency fund will keep you away from cashing out those savings for your savings goal. So have an emergency fund and have insurance in place for yourself, for your life and for your health, and also for your vehicle and your home, so that if something happens, someone breaks in and then your fancy fridge is gone, you can easily replace it without you having to use up your savings that are targeted towards your 100K goal. And for big celebrations, that's why you have your sinking fund. Make use of your sinking fund to put money aside for those big expenses, those predictable expenses that you know that, okay, in December I'm going to travel, so you put money in the sinking fund for that. You don't go to your $100,000 goal and then take money from there so that you can cover all these other things. Otherwise, there is really no point of you doing the goal and you saving that money if you are just going to use it for things that you are supposed to already have in place, like your emergency fund, like your short-term savings for your annual cost and for your short-term savings goal. Then there is really no point. So make sure that you have the other stuff in place so that you are not touching your money from your 100,000 savings goal. Another way you can protect yourself, please remove your sinking fund and your emergency fund from being visible on your banking apps, so that if you find yourself in an unfortunate situation of being in a demi or in Venduk and those guys force you to access your bank account, they will not be able to see those accounts. Then they can just see your everyday account or your normal account where you don't actually keep a lot of money. So please do make sure that those accounts are not visible on your app. Those are not accounts you use every day, so they don't need to be visible on your banking app. You can always make them visible when you need to use those accounts. So your first 100,000 will not come overnight. Let's just be honest. It's not something that you just wake up and then, hey, I have 100,000. Unless you are really a high income earner and your salary allows you, or your income allows you to have such a large amount of money in a very short period of time. Otherwise, for most of us, you have to come up with a plan, and you build up that amount with time. And once you have reached that 100K mark, everything changes. You feel much safer, you feel more confident, and you are able now to move towards investing. You can now move that 100,000 to a brokerage account and you can invest that money so that your 100,000 turns into a whole lot of money through compound interest, because you have put it into assets that are able to grow and give you good returns. And speaking of investment, in the next video, we are going to look at how you can start investing as a beginner. So do not miss out on the next video. Hit the subscribe button and put on the notification bell so that you do not miss out when the video goes live. So until next time, my name is Les, and here is to achieving financial freedom together.